Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Hello and welcome to lesson 8 or day 8 of the intensive speaking fluency blueprint training program. In today's lesson, we're going to learn how to speak about others, not only about yourself. Because as I mentioned before, we're trying to expand and to enrich your language. When learning a language, you don't have to just learn on one track. So we kept speaking about yourself for the last 7 days or last week. So here it's time to start talking about others. That gives your language a strong impression. Okay, so here we'll start today speaking about a person you like in your life or you admire. Here is the full example. One of the most important people in my life is. One of the most important people in my life is my older sister, my mom, my dad, whoever. She works as a teacher and keep talking about her, about this person, and spends most of her day helping students and preparing lessons. She's, and start describing her personality بقى. She's very organized, patient, and supportive. And here you can use any other words or any other adjectives you want to use to describe this person's personality. She's very organized, patient, and supportive, especially during stressful situations. Especially, you're giving like a reason here. Even when she feels tired, she always tries to stay calm and positive. I really admire her because you're giving a reason. I really admire her because she manages her responsibilities very well and still makes time for her family. I've learned a lot from her. That's an extra sentence. I've learned a lot from her, especially about discipline and time management. Discipline, like when you are consistent in doing the same thing every day, in keeping your routine. This means discipline, not day yes and day no. Discipline, that you are keeping your routine active. I want to mention something very important here. As we agreed in the very beginning, we don't study grammar rules explicitly or clearly or directly in this training, right? But it doesn't mean that we don't learn it, or we don't at least acquire it. We're not going to study it, but we have to know it. So in the past few days, you learn to speak about yourself in the present and in the past. So of course, you are not adding any other extras to the verbs, just ed in the past. Like for example, I wake up early, I love my work, I graduated from blah blah blah. But we also have to note that when speaking about one person, not people, just one person in the present, so the verb has to be attached to the S. I know that you know it already from the very grammatical rule we learned from school, but I have to say it again here. Very simple. Just add S to the verb when you are speaking about another one person in the present. She works. She's very organized. Spends. She's very supportive. She feels. She tries. But she tries to stay. Not stays بقى. Tries to stay. Tries to stay. Infinitive. Infinitive here means the verb as it is. No additions. No S, no ed, nothing. Tries to. Like loves to. Most probably, if you have the preposition to, just add infinitive. The verb as it is. No extra letters. I really admire her because she manages her responsibilities very well and still makes time for her family. I've learned a lot from her. طيب, let's بقى take it into يعني more details. So when you see the full example, these are the steps. Number one, you introduce the person. Like you say, who is this person to you? Is it your sister, mother-in-law? Is it a famous person, for example, if you're going to talk about Abla Kahlawi, whoever. Number two, to describe what they do. What do they do in their life? Like, is she a housewife, a mom, a parent, a teacher, an educator, a manager, whatever. And then you give one more sentence about this job or this thing, just to support your speech. Number three is to describe his personality or his character. Use some adjectives: supportive, helpful, patient, calm, quiet, cute, ambitious, passionate. Any adjectives you use to describe this person. And then you talk about his habits, like the routine of this person. Even when she feels tired, she always tries to stay calm and positive, because this is a routine and this is a habit. Even if she's tired, she always keeps her routine active. Last one, you describe your opinion about, or express your opinion about this person. Like you're also supporting your speech why you love this person. I really admire her because very well. I've learned a lot from her, especially about discipline and time management, especially about مثلا love, self-acceptance, whatever. طيب, let me give you an example about me, about another person in my life. One of the most important people in my life is my role model. My role model, قدوتي يعني مثلي الأعلى. Or one of the most important people in my life is Muhammad Tuhami. He's my role model. He works as an entrepreneur, or he works as a motivational speaker, and spends most of his time or most of his day helping others have a better life, helping others have better life or better communication skills. He's very organized, quiet, patient, and supportive. I can also say that he is passionate. Passionate, a person who has strong passion in his life. Especially during his motivational talks. Or during his podcasts, for example. Even when he feels tired, he always tries to help or support others. I really like him, or I really like his personality, because he manages his responsibilities very well, or he manages his time very well, and still makes time for his family. I've learned a lot from him, especially about time management and, for example, business and time management, marketing and business, discipline and entrepreneurship, whatever. You can play with the words. So here are the phrases that you will need to use. So for example, when you introduce this person, you can say one of the most important people in my life is my mom. I'd like to talk about my mom. She works as a housewife, or a school principal, like a school manager. Yeah. She spends most of her day mentoring teachers or helping teachers in their classes. Yeah. She is very Lovely. She's very cute. She's very patient. One thing I like about her is that she's very supportive. She usually supports or helps others even when she's tired, even when she's super busy. She is still very helpful. I admire her because she's my role model, because she's very good at balancing between her work and family. I've learned a lot from her, and I see her as my role model, or I look up to her. This is a very good word to mention here. I look up to. When you look up to a person, it means like you consider him a very important person, a big person. قدوتي أو مثلي الأعلى. So I respect him very much. I look up to him, or I look up to her. So these are the examples. One of the most important people in my life. I'd like to talk about one person I really admire is. Use any of those. She works as a teacher. He works as a manager. She spends most of her day doing blah blah blah. We use ing. She spends most of her time organizing, helping, supporting, talking, mentoring, correcting, preparing. She's very, and then mention بقى the adjectives about this person. Organized, patient, supportive, hardworking, stays calm under pressure. One thing that I like that she's very positive, or you can say optimistic. The optimistic person is the person who sees the good things even in hardships. He's always positive. متفائل. When you talk about behavior or habits, you can say even when she feels tired. Here you have to give another meaning, like عكس بعض, because I start with even when. Feeling tired is the opposite. She tries to stay calm and positive, right? Usually manages her time very well. Even when things go wrong, she still finds a way to help others. Even when things go wrong, she's still very optimistic. Last sentence, when you express your opinion about this person. I admire her because, I like her because مثلا, I love her so much because, I look up to her because, I've learned a lot from her. I admire my manager because he always supports the team and stays focused. When you add S here, don't say stays. Don't say plays if the verb ends in Y. So the verb ends in Y and you're going to add S. Don't say stays or plays. No, stays. Plays. That's it for today's lesson, and here is the replacement practice examples. For the people, you can talk about your mother, friend, manager, husband, teacher, or you mention a name of a famous person, for example, like what I did. For the personality traits or the adjectives, organized, supportive, hardworking, patient, confident, responsible. If you want to mention a new one that's not mentioned here, you can definitely approach me or ask the AI agent. It will definitely help you with any word you want to use. For the actions and habits, she helps or he helps others. Don't forget the S. Manages time well, like in a good way. Stays calm under pressure. Works very hard. Supports the family. For the useful verbs, he or she works, helps, spends, manages, supports, tries, stays, and makes. And here are some other tips or examples. What I want to say, when you speak about one person in present, because we have two kinds of present. The present continuous which is something is happening now. يعني she is now feeling tired. She is doing the homework. This is not our topic today. Today is about the present simple, or when you speak about general truth about a person, general routine, not something or action is happening exactly right now at this moment. No, it's general. Yani she's not kind now. No, she's kind. So she feels positive. She supports others. She prepares lessons, because this thing is like a habit or a routine or a behavior that always happens, not only now. Okay, so this is the difference. Okay, so this is the summary. You can see the full example here. This is the structure, of course. And here, like, important tips and other verbs to use. طيب, let's come back to the task system, which is very important. The first one is the review task. You have to record like 2 voice tasks. The first one to talk about a stressful experience you had and describe a past routine. And the main one is to pick any person from your life who's very important, who really matters to you, and try to explain what they do, their personality, their habit or behavior, and why you admire them. Here mention the reason using the word because. The last one, the replacement practice. Yani try to change but again, and speak mention another example about another person بقى. يعني you can this time you speak about a famous person in business, in marketing, in football, in religion, Mustafa Hosni, whoever. And try to provide more examples. And here are the examples of the 3 versions that you can look to. That's it for today. I hope you enjoyed the lesson. Thank you very much and see you next time, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum.